So yeah, the short-term decision-making thing is a fairly common problem, and usually that stems from like a lack of camera control and like looking around and planning and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that might be it. Yeah,
Okay, so are you someone who like panics in fights?
yeah, a lot.
Okay, yeah. So that's also a common issue that's like related to this. Generally, people assume that Dota is way faster than it actually is. Like most people have the reaction speed necessary to like team fight adequately in Dota.
Okay,
At least if you're somebody who plays video games, often. So my general advice, for now for this is that you try to slow your game down a little bit. Like don't let yourself get caught up in the like, holy crap, I need to press all my buttons really fast kind of thing. Obviously, if you have to press your buttons fast, then you should do that. But yeah, that's my general advice for that. But okay, so why don't we jump into a game or something? Unless you want to
yeah,
talk
sure.
about some stuff. Okay, cool.
I'm just not sure like what game to watch because I play I play basically any role and any hero, even in ranked sometimes because I started randoming from when I started Dota. So I don't know if that's an issue as well. If I should like try to focus on a single role or the set of heroes or
Yeah, so I mean, it's not an issue technically if you play like 16 hours a day. But
yeah,
most
I know
people,
that.
yeah, most people don't have that kind of time. Most pro players don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like part of learning Dota and like being comfortable and part of like being able to slow the game down for yourself and like make the decisions easier is having the mechanics already down. And if you're playing 116 different heroes, technically or whatever, then you don't have the muscle memory to adequately do that. Like it's hard for you to be comfortable when you're playing a hero. So it makes sense that you would have issues making decisions based off that.
Yeah.
So I generally do recommend sticking to like one role and then have like 2 heroes each and each of the other roles as like backup plans.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an Invoker game where I had this issue where my KDA looked really good at the end, but I still felt like I fucked up a ton of combos and general spell usage in team fights. So maybe we could watch that.
Yep.
Do I just give you the match ID or?
Oh yeah, you can just type it in Skype or copy paste it, even better. Invoker is definitely one of those heroes that you just need to have like the muscle memory down. So it makes sense that you mess up your combos.
Yeah, even though it's one of my most played.
Oh really? Okay.
Like overall, not recently, but overall.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna copy paste this. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen in a sec here.
Right.
Okay, should be working.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so you're in Booker, you went Shiva, interesting. Okay. Did you go Quas Wex?
Yep.
Okay. Looks like a very good Quas Wex game, so good stuff there. Alright. Yeah, normally Invoker players have this issue where like they get really focused on team fighting and like trying to gank and stuff. It looks like you didn't have this issue though because you farm quite a bit, but they get very tunnel visioned on that and they neglect farming, and that is a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think I have the opposite issue where I farm too much and I'm never really sort of pushed the advantage.
Yeah, that can be an issue as well, for sure. Okay, so you start with Blades of Attack. I'm not sure about this.
Okay.
I think most Invokers, even the ones that go Quas Wex, go Null Talisman.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I don't think that makes too big of a difference, but I mean, Null Talisman is more efficient technically. The only downside is you get your phase bits a little bit slower. I don't know, maybe it's something you could try. I'm not going to officially recommend it though.
Alright.
So I think that's fine. Okay.
Don't know if I should go Quas or Wex first on Quas Wex Invoker.
I think Quas makes more sense personally. I'm not totally sure though. I'm not somebody who plays a lot of Invoker. I understand the hero and his role in the game. And I can tell you like when you mess up your combos and like what you could do instead. But the nuances of like lane mechanics and stuff are something I can't really help you too much with. At least like in terms of 1v1 matchups. Okay. So Invoker TA. Okay. So I'm not sure if you clicked on this guy right away, but that would be an issue if you did not. Okay, yeah. So it looks like you didn't click on him. You always want to do this and just check their items. Like knowing that this guy has 2 Fairy Fires, Tango, is just very helpful. He's going for like a half kind of bottle rush sort of. Like he's not going full committing to it, but he's going to get his bottle relatively quickly based on what he has for items if he gets CS. So that information is very valuable. So definitely make a habit of doing that just every time you walk into lane.
Yeah, definitely don't click on heroes enough, especially when I'm playing mechanically challenging heroes, I guess, like Invoker. I think that might be an issue.
Yeah, any information that's present like that is just extremely important to take advantage of. Because like if you think of Dota as like or if you compare Dota to a game like chess, where chess you can see all the moves your opponent's making, like you can't they can't hide anything from you. Whereas in Dota, like there's literally like all of this you can't see any of this going on. So any information that is present or available to you, you really need to take advantage of.
Right.
It's extremely important, and nobody can possibly do that, right? Like nobody is able to process all of this and like click on every hero, check all their items, and like pay attention to all that stuff. But you need to do your best. Yeah, that's my best advice for that. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so I'm not sure if this was intentional or not, but it's good. Basically, when you pull the creep back like this, you're going to cause a double wave. So, like you're going to have 2 range creeps in the next wave, because like this creep is going to die, and now your range creep is still alive, and then eventually like this creep will die as well because it's being focused, and like the lane is going to slightly push, and this is good against TA.
That wasn't intentional. I just wanted to pull the creeps a little bit closer to me, but the double wave wasn't intentional.
Yeah, no, this is something that's good though against TA. And in this case, you're denying, so it's not the best, but it's not bad either. But like the way you beat TA in this case, when you can't really like crush her really as Invoker until a little bit later, maybe you get like 4 spirits or something. Not on Quas Wex, obviously, but yeah. But you can really take advantage of just pushing on her because she has no defense against her, right? Like Refraction is her best defense against damage and harass in general. So if you double wave like this, or like how it would be here, eventually this is going to push, it's going to go to her tower, and then you can hit her under tower basically. Like if she's anywhere, within this circle, you can hit her from outside the range and not take any damage, and she has to tank creeps during that time. So that's how you kind of
how do I double wave? Like what's the recipe, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I just push, or do I wait for the next creep wave and push, or what?
So you very slowly push. I know that's not helpful at all, but that's the idea. It's like you can do what you did here, where you last hit, and then you like just hit these creeps once or twice, preferably one that's already low. So this one, you can hit the creep that's being focused by your creeps, like the most creeps. So in this case, the top one is being focused by these 2 creeps, so it's going to die more quickly. So you can hit that one, or you could also pull this one back like you did, and this is another option you can do, because that will switch the aggro on your creeps to that one. But yeah, the idea is just slowly push. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And eventually, like you'll come to this point where you get a double wave on her. You should push a little bit more quickly than this if that's what you're planning to do. Just for reference.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, that's usually pretty good against most melee heroes, especially ones that are good at tanking harass, like TA is.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sick. Okay, good. Okay. One thing I do think you should use a courier a little bit sooner than this. I guess you could wait for your phase boots. That's not horrible.
Okay.
That's acceptable. Okay. All right.
One thing, since you talked about camera control earlier, do you use edge panning or like the mouse drag thing, or what do you think is better? Or is it just preference?
I think so I think the camera grip is objectively better.
Okay.
And that's what I use. I use like a combination of both. It's like for small adjustments, I use the grip, and for like faster movements or like I guess slightly larger movements, I use the edge pan most of the time. And then I click on the minimap otherwise. But camera grip is objectively better, I think. Basically, like, if you think about it conceptually, like, okay, I'm laning mid, and I want to move my camera down a little bit. If you have to move your cursor, like, physically like this, and then move it back to where it is, that's just, like, that's unnecessary action. Whereas your cursor stays in, like, a similar spot if you use grip. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're definitely, like, very afraid to harass this guy on your tower. And this is, like, when TA is most vulnerable. It's almost like you have a damage over time spell on her if she's tanking creeps, because then like a refraction isn't as effective like if the charges are being done. So it's worth it to just get a couple right clicks here. Like any little damage you do, anytime you force her to use regen is really good. Obviously you want to be careful and not take tower shots and stuff, but it is very valuable. Okay.
I think I read it in mid guide once that when your wave pushes to the enemy tower, that you should just go back and block your own wave in 90% of the cases. I don't know if that's true. It's just a habit I got over the years, and maybe it's a bad habit. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a good habit in some cases. If you're playing against ganking heroes, then it can be good, because then if you, instead of taking the opportunity to take damage or do damage to this guy under tower, you can position the wave like a little bit farther back so that you're a little bit safer. But in this case, I don't think you have to worry too much. I mean, they have Avenge who can gank, but she's showing bottom. She's been showing bottom the whole time. And like the only other person who can gank really is... That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't even... Yeah, no, that's the only hero that you have to worry about. So in this case, it's actually better to just like continuously push and be really annoying for her. You can't zone her out completely, so the best thing you can do is just pressure the tower. And even if somebody does leave or go off the map, like this Avenge just goes into fog or whatever, because you're pushing, you can kind of infer that she's coming to you, and therefore you don't have to be surprised when she gets to you or when she shows up in your lane. So you can be prepared for that and run away.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. In cases like this, when there are dual lanes and people are showing, then it's usually better to push and just be annoying. Unless you're in a matchup that's so like one-sided that you can't even contest the creeps or whatever. In which case you kind of want to freeze it under your tower if possible. Okay.
Haste.
Okay.
Missing bottom.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should use my 2 spells to harass. That's a good idea. Or like not harass in TA's case, but just be annoying burner mana. I don't know if that's correct or if I should save it.
I think it's okay. You're limiting her offensive potential when you do this. And she has no bottle charges, so I think it's good. I think you force her to bottle crow here if she's a good player. So I think that's fine. And you're not going to be fighting within the next few seconds, so I think that's a good play.
Okay.
Okay. So here, because you burned her mana, basically like her way to help gank is either high damage or her psionic traps. And in this case, like she has to choose one. Like she can either have high damage with refraction or she can trap you once. So in this case, you should be pushing a lot and just like constantly pressuring, especially since these guys are showing. And also the objective for pushing is like not just to get the tower. Obviously, it's more about the pressure than anything. Obviously, if you get the tower, that's fantastic, but that's not the primary objective. That's just like a secondary thing. Okay, so this is a really good game for Earn.
Yeah, I did go
because,
Earn.
Okay, good. Good.
Why is it really good? I usually just go for it when I do Quas Wex.
Well, it's obviously just good because of Cold Snap, but in this case, it also helps you burn refraction.
Oh, alright.
So it's good in that regard. Guess you got a DD. It might have been worth it to... I'm not sure. I think you could go for a Cold Snap here, and I think it would be okay. I guess you would have to uninvoke Tornado, which would kind of stink, but I think it would be worth it in this case. Also, actually, I take that back. That's not a good choice. Basically,
Okay.
like, I was like thinking, just in terms of the 1v1, but if it was just 1v1 and there was no other heroes in the game, it would be a good play. But because Venge isn't showing in this case, like if you invoke Cold Snap, then you have no defensive spell, so it wouldn't be
Yeah.
good. Venge shows right here actually, so I take it back again. But you understand what I mean, right? Like the line of
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Okay.
Supports don't usually gank in this bracket, like gank mid a lot, so...
Yeah. You can usually get away with being aggressive, but you definitely if they're off the map, you should be careful. Like just give them like the lowest level of respect that you can.
And
Okay.
this is like one of my first issues, I think, in the game, because like with TP reactions, either I don't react or react too fast, or I sort of overreact. Like I felt like I overreacted here, like I didn't need to TP, and stuff like that happens to me a lot. Where I either don't TP or TP too late, or just do these unnecessary TPs. I mean, I got a kill here, but it's still I
Yeah,
don't-
it's not the best because it's just a level 5 bench. And also Sark shouldn't have died. He just like ran in for no reason. That's kind of silly. But yeah, so I mean obviously this is not the best DP. You do get a kill, so it's okay. To try to fix the issue though, generally I mean there's no fix for just like TPing at the right time. Like that's just something you have to learn. You have a higher chance of TPing at the right time if you're more aware of what's going on. So if you monitor like their positioning very closely here, you can kind of sense like right here that Sark is in danger. Like when Morphling's icon disappears here, like you'll see this
Yeah.
in a sec. Okay, so you see it just disappeared right there.
Yeah.
It was like a split second. That's when he's waveforming. So you can kind of infer that like if he's waveforming and he appears further, that he's going in. And at that point, you can just like move your camera down, and if you see low HPs, you can just go in, because they use their way to disengage at that point. So that's kind of you kind of have to look for those sort of signs in order to make better decisions. It's tough though. Like that's not something that's easy at all. That's one of the more challenging parts of mid, I feel.
I hadn't spawned yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I save Slug here if I get the tornado faster. I'm not sure. But,
Maybe. I think it's like pretty minor detail though. I usually just focus on like the big conceptual stuff, like so the TP and the decision to TP rather than like how you play the fight afterward.
okay.
I think that stuff is more important, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's pretty much it. Like no matter how many times you practice a scenario like that, you can still mess it up. Whereas like if you get good at decision making, you're less likely to mess that up. There's no mechanics tied to that, so. Okay, you go Midas on Quas Wex.
Yeah. I usually play a bit more selfish in solo ranked, so I thought that I was 1-0. I had decent last hit, so I thought going for Midas would maybe let me snowball a bit more, and yeah, I'm not sure if a faster an Orchid would have been better to
Yeah,
get
I think it would be.
kills and, okay.
So generally, I like Midas on Exort Invoker. I think it's great, but
Yeah.
the problem with like going Midas on Quas Wex Invoker, I feel, is that even if you do play selfishly, you're such a mid-game centric hero. At that point, like obviously, if you get 6 items, level 25, you're just as good as Exort Invoker. But still, like when you go this many points in Wex, you're very mid-game centric. So when you go for Midas, you're kind of like kneecapping yourself. You're setting yourself up for a good late game, but you're not playing to your strengths at that point. I feel like you go Midas in situations where, or at least just on Quas Wex Invoker, you go Midas in situations where like it's not a good Quas Wex game, and you picked it for whatever reason, or you're in like Captain Trapped or whatever. But yeah, I think getting a faster Urn and a faster Orchid would be much more beneficial for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just because the hero is so centered around ganking and pushing and stuff. Okay, so let's try to see what's happening here. Okay, so TA is top at this point. Not sure if you had any signs. Like she's running up right here. Okay, yeah, she meets right there. Alright, not much you can do about that. I would have liked to see you just look up top really quick. Just, to check things out. You can't really do much because you don't have a TP, but you could look up here and see that TA has no TP as well. Like she could sell a Tango and buy one, but Yeah, and also Phoenix has nothing. So this would be a good time to push. And it would be an easy decision if you see that they have no items to get here in time. So, yeah. Yeah, so definitely right here you should go and hit this tower and just pressure. Like, there's nobody that can be near lane right now. I guess, like, Jug could run back, but he TP'd home, so, yeah.
Alright.
So, yeah, you definitely want to take advantage of this kind of pushing thing and just pressure as much as you can. Yeah. Okay. So you run bottom here.
Yeah, not sure what my plan was, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess just gank. That actually so works out.
I'm really surprised that worked out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to like come up with a reason for why you would do this, but it just seemed like you wanted to get a kill.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and that's not like super incorrect. I think ganking in this lane is a good idea, but I think if anything the timing was like a bit awkward. I would have rather see you like push the wave out, like maybe this wave and the next wave, and then run into fog and then TP, and come through the lane. I think that makes a little bit more sense because then you don't have to spend all this time just running.
Yeah.
You do run very quickly on Invoker for sure, but yeah. I mean, it does work out though. So. Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think she almost gets mid tower now, so it's probably a mistake.
Yeah.
Take that as tribute.
Yeah. So I think because these guys have the option to just back off when you TP or when you run down like this, and there's also a possibility that you run over a ward. You know, just like here, or it could even be in the jungle or something, or it could catch you here. I think the optimal play is to TP, but still it's kind of a forced play. I think just pressuring and waiting for a better opportunity would be better. Like obviously, if you use result-based thinking, then this is a great play. But yeah, I think there are a lot of situations, or there are a lot of ways that this situation could have played out, where you come out on, or the enemy team comes out on top by just not dying.
Okay.
All right, CTP in mid here. I think that's fine. If you do this, you should definitely push though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. So you start running bottom again.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
I think this is where
under
the best.
attack.
No, it's later. Thought this is where I die, but.
Okay. I guess this is sort of fine. Yeah, it's obviously a waste of time, but it's okay to run down. Okay, that's fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely need to focus more on pushing, I think. In this case, you have Midas, so it's okay. It's okay to be here, but yeah. That's something that like a lot of people mess up, is they just they play too passively, or they play.
That's definitely an issue. Yeah.
Like it's one thing to be defensive, but defensive implies that you know, you're also taking advantage of your opponent's weaknesses. You're not like forcing the issue, but if they present an opportunity for you or to you, then like you take it. Whereas what you're doing right now is passive, and passive isn't necessarily bad, but I think defensive is a much more ideal way to play. Okay, so pushing, good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think it would be worth it here to just burn her mana really quick. You have no way to kill her, but she can potentially kill you with a support. So I think it would be worth it to try to do that. Okay, actually, wait. EMP does damage, or it burns mana through... Yeah, it does. Okay, never mind.
Tornado doesn't remove refraction, right? That would be a bit...
I hope not. I don't believe it does. I know it purges a lot of things, but I don't believe refraction can be dispelled. Actually,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I will look it up afterward. I'm going to write that down.
Alright.
Refraction purge. Okay. So, alright. So yeah, at this point, the best thing you can do is just continuously push this, and keep trying to look for kills. So like a pretty standard pattern you can do is just push really hard, and then look around the map, or like better yet, be pushing and looking around the map at the same time. And then if you see a kill opportunity, then you can start running there, or TP, or if you can't do any of those things, then you just go to farm. like a jungle camp, and then you go back to lane and kind of like rinse repeat. That's usually a
Alright.
pretty good cycle on ganking heroes.
Okay. Yeah, this is where everything goes horribly wrong.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under
Thought I could
attack.
go in here because I had two people with the thingy, but then that
Oh wow.
just not.
Okay, that was a good waveform.
Dire's top tower.
Okay. So pretty much this is just like a fundamental issue. Like on both of your guys' parts, you and Sark. In this case, when Phoenix uses her egg, you just have to go really hard. Also, there. No, she has stick. Never mind. I was gonna say like, if your EMP timing or your EMP tornado timing was slightly better, then you could burn her mana as she comes down. But in this case, she has stick, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, if you guys just focus the egg here, this is a totally different fight.
Okay.
That's really big. Like, you wouldn't get stunned later on. She wouldn't be doing this damage to you the whole time. So yeah, as soon as she focuses, or as soon as she pops egg, if you guys just go on her, I'm pretty sure you win the fight. It's sort of tough to say because Morphling would be like relatively high HP, but I think that is the case.
Okay.
Then you also get earn charges. Yeah.
That's a change of plans.
But yeah, I think in this case you should just focus the egg because you have two teammates that are near you, and you also aren't affected by fire spirits for too much longer. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wasn't it just me and the slug? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens if just me, if just I hit the egg, but
I believe if you switch to Wex, no, not Wex. I'm pretty sure that Invoker has enough time when he's not affected by fire spirits to kill a level 1 egg, because
Okay.
it's only 5 hits. That's not very much at all. It's really close for a hero with no attack speed items to kill the egg. So I think you can actually solo kill it if you're on the ball. But you and Sark can definitely kill it. Like, it's just
Okay.
3 hits from one of you and 2 from the other.
Dire's top tower
And like
is
Sark
under
has treads,
attack.
and he's just a high attack speed hero in general. So yeah.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
These deaths definitely matter quite a bit, though.
Radiant's middle
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
When you're on a
Radiant's
mid-game
middle
centric
tower
hero like
has
Invoker,
fallen.
like obviously dying in Dota is bad. Like I don't need to tell you that, but it's a little bit worse for heroes like this where you're very reliant on snowballing. If you were Exort, it would be different, but Exort has like pushing potential and stuff, and a bit more damage than Quas Wex, so.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Joke shows moon.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Okay, also while
is
this is
under
happening,
attack.
I think Tia got your mid tower, which is big. So that was a
Yeah.
very impactful kill. Or a very impactful roam.
You're in the cage. I just let you free.
I return to the grasslands of my home.
Alright.
I don't know.
He literally just like force fed. Alright. Well, so let's look at this. I think the decision to TP was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. And I say it wasn't great because mid is pushed out, like it's pushing to you. So it'd be better to just push mid, I think. And also,
Your body.
okay, no, he used dive, so he's pretty much not getting out. Okay, I guess it was okay. This is a relatively high level hero, so if you get the kill, it's big. And you're very, very well able to. So
Return to the grasslands of my home.
okay, yeah, it was fine.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he wanted to die. It's okay. Okay, yep, you go Swak. Totally fine.
money.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, don't go back to base here. You have plenty of regen, and you have an earn charge. Like, there's no reason to go back here. If you were low on
Right.
mana, then it would be okay. But yeah, this is just really inefficient.
Okay.
It's worth using your earn charges. Obviously, if you need to use both to get back to base, or like get back to half HP or something, then it's not worth it. But in most cases, it's worth it to just earn yourself up if it's one use, and stay on the map. Because now this is all time that you're not spending killing creeps. You could get like this medium camp, then move over to the next one by the time you TP.
Radiant's
That's pretty
top
big.
tower is under attack.
Okay.
is under attack.
Yeah, so you walked over a ward here. That sucks. Okay.
Dire's
That's what I mean by
structures are fortified.
short-term decision-making as well. Like at this point, I don't know what the best thing to do is, if I should just farm or if I should help push bottom, like I did here, I think, or I try to, or if I don't know.
Yeah, usually if you don't know what to do, the best thing you can do is push out a wave. So like in this case, instead of going to the neutral camp, you could just go push mid. This only applies in cases where like you know that you can't die to somebody. Like let's say there's a Blink Legion Commander off the map or something, in which case you have to be a little careful. But if Legion Commander shows top and like you know that she can't possibly be near you, then you can push mid. Basically, like if you do this and you adopt this kind of like thinking, where if you don't know what to do, you push lanes. Basically, like worst case scenario is you get a little bit of farm, and you don't show up to a fight that you should have shown up to. And at that point, like at the very least, you're getting farm and you're also pressuring a little bit. Whereas like if you show up to a fight that you can't do anything at, you're just stuck there. You have to TP out or just run back to another place. Also, you can farm neutrals, but this doesn't impact the game really. It just gets you farm, which isn't bad, obviously. Like gold is great, but ideally you get gold from the lanes just by pushing. Because you are spending a lot of time here. Okay, you eventually just sleep. Oh, okay.
No, I
A gift from the Tempest
Oh yeah.
of
So
Battle.
this
wasn't
kind of
sure
thing
if
is very
there
big.
was gonna be a fight or not, so I just wanted to stick around.
Yep. Okay, so you run in
And
here.
I'm not sure what happens here. I can't remember if I die again or if I... Yeah, I think I die again.
Yeah, looks like you do.
Yeah, I do go way too deep.
Okay, yeah, so that's quite big. I mean, this will not be an issue if you kind of adopt the way of thinking that I was talking about. If you were mid pushing this, then you could still TP for the fight like very easily. But you would also be able to like better read the situation in most cases, or at least like this wave would be pushed out, and maybe you get damage on this tower or whatever. But yeah, this is something that you want to try to cut out of your play, is like the back and forth thing that you were doing here.
Okay.
There's no easy way to do it, unfortunately, but
Yeah, but the pushing...
yeah, the pushing thing will help.
Also help, I think, yeah.
The classic me teammates. I definitely understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I have some lat anxiety issues, and I think
Radiant's
it's
bottom
mainly
tower
because
has fallen.
people are assholes.
No, I definitely get it.
I don't know. I just mute when I get a bit tilted or something.
I think that's totally fine. That is a healthy habit. As long as you're not one of those people that just says like, "I'm muting you guys," then
No, I
it's
think
totally fine.
I have another issue where, like when I play with my friends, I enjoy sort of directing the game a bit. Maybe not in a good way, but like push here or get Roshan and stuff like that. I think I do that too much in solo ranked games, especially when I'm support, because I don't know how to impact the game otherwise as support, or as much as support. If you know
Okay.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's-
No, I feel you. If you make the right calls, it's not bad. But most people can't. To be quite frank.
I mean, I'm a 3K player, so I probably don't make the right calls, and it costs me a lot of time typing, and I don't
Yeah.
know. It's worth
Oh,
it.
if you're typing, it's definitely not worth it.
Okay.
In most cases, like pings and like chat wheel is usually good enough.
Okay.
That's what I recommend anyway. Don't don't spam ping people, because it's not healthy. But just like a double ping mid tower or something, like that. And you can use the group up chat wheel or whatever, and that's usually fine. But yeah, back to the muting thing though. I think that's totally healthy. And if you get tilted even slightly by your teammates, then just mute them. It's okay.
Okay.
You're not gonna have bad karma or something. You're not gonna meet them again. And if you do, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, as long as you're courteous about it, it's okay. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff that happened. So let's go back. Okay, so here you were just bottom, I believe. You ran mid. You almost have Orchid here, which is good. One thing on Invoker is that he's very timing based. Like a lot of heroes are. Like same with Earthshaker getting a Blink Dagger. Is you generally want to wait until you have like Orchid to fight. Obviously, if you have the ability to kill a hero, then you should take it. But or the opportunity rather, to be more precise. If you have the opportunity, you should take it. But in most cases, it's perfectly fine to just farm your items and not force anything until then. Because then if you get Orchid, like you have so many ways to kill people in this game. You can solo pretty much every hero actually. You know, with the exception of like a Manta Jug or Lincoln's Morphling or whatever. Yeah, this would be a great fast Orchid game for sure. So that's pretty big actually. You definitely want to avoid fighting if possible. You know, unless it's gonna benefit you guys. Okay.
Well, at least I don't die here. Just a Rubik, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just a bad fight. You guys overstayed your welcome a little bit. Rubik's positioning is definitely like too far forward. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Not sure if we saw the Venge when we went in.
It's pretty unlikely.
So
She was standing back.
I think we get the Morphling kill, but
yeah, no, for sure. I think it's okay to go for this, like just for the Morphling, because if you get the EMP, he dies pretty much no matter what. You know, so long as Venge is not here. But basically, as soon as he gets swapped, you just kind of need to dip, and Rubik didn't respect that. But yeah, okay. That was a pretty good play by them, though. Yeah, the only thing you can do here is disengage. The best thing to do in situations like this, though, is it's just earn yourself up and then immediately run to a different lane. If these guys end up pushing and you guys can actually team fight, then you can just TP back. Whereas like you can never TP to a side lane. Like you can't just magically TP here, you know, without bots or whatever. So when you do that, like when you immediately rotate and start running, you at least give yourself more options. Whereas if you go back to base here, you can only TP to these places.
All right.
Yeah, if that makes sense. That's a good habit to get into for sure.
Yeah, I think I definitely go back to base too much now that I'm watching this game.
No, for sure.
It's not exclusive to Invoker, I think.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay. Also, ideally when you get big items like this on any hero, not just Invoker, you don't want to reveal it if possible. Like, ideally you just like go invis and try to surprise him with it. Because like it's kind of like a gimme kill. Like if you just find TA right here, and you Orchid her and do damage to her before she can blink or refraction, then like she just dies. She has no counterplay. Whereas like if she's prepared for for you to have Orchid, then she can know like, okay, if he cold snaps me and then tornadoes or whatever, and uses those things, I might be able to refraction and TP out or something like that. Whereas like if you reveal your Orchid like this, even if they okay, so if you reveal your Orchid like this, you're basically taking away the gimme kill that you're supposed to get when you get Orchid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like even if it's true that these guys aren't even clicking on you, like I'm willing to bet that if we looked at all 5 of these player perspectives,
they probably don't.
Yeah, they probably don't. But it's still like
habit.
Yeah, it's definitely a very healthy habit. Because that will start to change as you get better and better.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay. Yep, that's good. Okay, so let's watch again. You were a little bit slow to react, but it's okay. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I saved Disruptor, even if I'm not sure.
Well, you didn't have Invoke, so it's pretty unlikely, but yeah. Okay, here you should definitely push.
Yeah, I might go
Dire's
back.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's pretty big. They just lost their big team fight hero, so it's good to push here. Obviously, you have to be careful, right? Like, there's a possibility that, there are a bunch of heroes waiting, but should still make the attempt. This guy's an SNY on Phoenix. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna go
Okay.
Radiance next, so he's to lose.
I actually like Radiance Phoenix. The SNY is a bit weird, though. But yeah, anyway. Okay. So here you invis top.
Radiant's top tower is under
Thought the
attack.
Juggernaut would push and I could kill him.
Yeah, that's
I
not a
think
bad
he does
thought.
in second. I don't know. I don't know if it's better to get the mid tower in this case.
I think in this case, since you saw Juggernaut pushing top like way before, it would be better to push mid and try to show up. It looks like you're gonna kill this guy, so that's good.
think he
Yeah, he's
dies.
gonna spin. Oh, he's just gonna. Okay, yeah, that sucks for him. Okay, so that was a good glimpse. But before I lose my thought, so going for the mid tower is like slightly better in this case because it's more consistent. It's more reliable. Like you're relying on Jug being kind of stupid here, which isn't bad. Like you can pretty much count on most people being stupid, but this is like very stupid. This is like outlandishly stupid. Like going for this push when Invoker's off the map. So it's okay to assume that your enemies aren't going to make the best decisions all the time, but in this case you can't assume that they're going to make like probably the worst decision possible, short of like running down mid. But yeah, okay, so it does work out, which is fine. But yeah, okay. Okay. So since you just like showed top, now is a good time for you to farm and just push. Normally, as Invoker, you kind of want to stay off the map and farm the jungle, just because you're such like a looming threat to the enemy team. Like if Invoker's not showing on the map, you have to be kind of scared, especially when he has Orchid. But in this case, since you just showed, you kind of want to take advantage of the enemy team knowing where you are, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
And just push out this wave while you're here. Okay. So here there's a fight going on. It's a little different. But,
I saw the trap and then I was scared and ran back, I think.
Yeah. You don't have to worry too much if TA blinks on you, though, is the thing. Like, you can always tornado, then earn... Or you can always, like, EMP at your feet, tornado, switch to cold snap or ghost walk if you're scared. In this case, it would have been better to just push. Because now, like, they're going to have the opportunity to push top. Whereas if you had been pushing this whole time, this creep wave is dead. And they can't push for 30 seconds. Which is really huge, right? Like, they're not going to take this opportunity, but... This was like one of the, this is actually like a pretty big macro error, I think, if these guys are better. She might still end up pushing, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. Now, it is tough to make decisions like that, too. I'm not saying it's like, it's easy, but it is very possible in this case. Oh, yeah. Alright. So end up going to the jungle.
Yeah, I think I autopilot a bit too much when I play Dota. Because when I play with friends, we usually play a bit more relaxed, like
you're much more loose.
And I just clown around and maybe that, I don't know, I need to start thinking more in serious, quote-unquote serious matches.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. It is a thinking man's game for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are players that can autopilot and like they don't have to think because they're so good, but I'm certainly not one of those guys. I have to like, it hurts my brain to think about this kind of stuff in game, but it makes it a little bit more fun if you think about the strategy. I don't know, it's different from person to person, but yeah.
Yeah, I used to play StarCraft, and when I think when I switched to Dota, I thought I could just mechanic my way through the game, if you know what I mean, like in StarCraft, where you could just accomplish a lot with just being just macroing, and I thought I could do the same with, just having better farm mechanics or something.
Well, you can to an extent. I think that much is true, but you have to be exceptionally good. Like if you're good enough to contribute to games like that and just like not even think, you're probably a world-class player, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think that's exaggerating either. I think that's pretty true. But yeah, anyway, it's definitely like a game where you're very heavily rewarded for just like actively thinking. Which sounds really silly because like I don't think there are people who actually don't think, but or at least not that are playing Dota anyway. But yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this. I hit the jump ahead button. Oops. Okay. Alright. What is this? Okay. Okay, I believe it was right here. Yeah, it was. Okay. So you're doing this neutral camp, that's fine. Ideally, since you have a TP, you should run towards the bottom. In this case, it's a bit iffy. Okay, I'll talk about that after, I guess. It's a good EMP tornado. You get two people in it. Should definitely focus shroud. Yeah.
I don't know how we lost that fight because we killed Phoenix so early on. I thought we would just be able to steamroll them. I don't know what happened there. And Juggernaut didn't get Omni off, so I thought it was just a one fight and he still sort of died. It was weird.
Yeah, I think it was mostly TA doing a lot of work. Also, Morphling probably did decent damage. I'll watch it slowly and see what they do. So Slark just dies here, yeah. He just gets like adaptive striked and TA kills him. At the same time, Rupert goes dying. I guess the big issue is like you only have 2 damage dealers here, whereas they have like slightly more. Sounds kind of stupid, but You know, in this case, it really is
Yeah.
just a matter of numbers. Their heroes do more damage, and they have more damage dealers here, so...
Oh, and Void would have been useful in the fight, but I guess...
Yeah, you can't rely on this kind of thing, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree that he should have been there. Yeah, so that was pretty much why you guys lost, I think. It would have been fine to just kill the Phoenix and disengage, or even just kill the or Jug and try to run out. Sark ends up getting swapped, which sucks, but yeah. Okay, so you disengage at that point, that's okay. I didn't see too much else that you could have done. What's Invokers? Invokes cooldown. Maybe. Well, let's see how many spells you cast. So like here you invoke Cold Snap after using EMP Tornado.
I think then I used Deafening Blast too late to try to save the sword.
Yeah. Okay. So that might have been the play actually. It's just invoke Deafening Blast a little bit sooner, or even no, it has to be Deafening Blast actually because you need to disarm these guys in order to save them.
Throw me back.
If it was like slightly sooner, yeah, if it was slightly sooner, that might have been huge. Just conjecture though. I think it would have saved Slark for a little bit, and maybe you guys killed TA, but he probably still dies no matter what. But still, getting a kill on TA is huge. So
The stuff like that
Radiant's bottom tower is under
just come
attack.
from playing a lot, or can I do anything like deliberately to improve some of these quick decisions? Like stuff like that where I invoke Deafening Blast too late. Is that just practicing and playing a lot, or is there anything I can...
I think practicing with focus is a more specific way to think about it. So it could just be as simple as playing one hero and like doing your best to improve that one hero, and that would be okay. But that's something that definitely comes with like muscle memory, like, and having played that situation out before, or a similar one anyway. I don't know if any other like drill you can do, or you know, some kind of practice like that. I mean, I guess the best thing you can do in that case is just like have your spell combos and your spell casting like be as quick as possible, so you don't have to waste time on like thinking of what keys you have to press to cast Deafening Blast. Like it just comes naturally.
That's an issue. I'm not sure.
Okay. So if that's the case, then you have that part down at least, which is good. Yeah, I would say the best thing you can do is just like stick to a couple heroes, and then you don't like that will slowly but surely like become a little bit better. Because at that point, I think it's more of a muscle memory thing than it being like a thinking thing or something like that. Like you just have to react correctly, and like reaction implies that you know it's it just comes naturally to you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is good. Yeah, I mean, this looks like the game is going relatively fine. The one thing that you're not doing though that will really help you is like pushing waves. It's so big. Like,
Okay.
understanding the impact of pushing waves is pretty difficult, but in a lot of cases, like, so like, look at this. So let's look at the enemy team's vision here. Okay, so they can see all of this obviously because they have creeps here. They can see out to here as well, so they're seeing void. They're seeing here, but everything else is like it's pretty dark for them. But just this little bit of vision is extremely helpful for them. And like even if they're not thinking about this, like most people can pick up on it subconsciously if they're about like above 3K or whatever. And this is gonna sound really dumb, but bear with me. Because there's nobody showing here, they know that nobody's here. So like this is information for them, even if it's like anti-information. Like that they know at least that this spot is clear, and also like because nobody is pushing this out, they know that like something is up. Like either somebody is running here and they're gonna push right away, or like there's a gank going on or something like that. And then let's see what you guys are doing. I don't think you guys are ganking. Yeah, so Disruptor is dead at this point. But either way, I think you understand where I'm going with that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, pushing waves is extremely impactful, and that's like you could probably cheat and get like 4K MMR by just doing that. You could like play heroes that just never interact with any heroes and just like completely push waves and ignore every single hero in the game and just push.
Anti-mage, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Even if you played anti-mage and then you couldn't hit heroes no matter what, like your hero just physically couldn't attack them, you could still win games by just doing that.
Okay.
I don't know. I wish I was a little bit more articulate when I want to talk about this thing.
I know what you mean.
Okay, cool.
Double damage.
Okay, very good. Okay, so here you find Jug. Yep, he's just dead. Good stuff. It's a big kill. Now, this is a big point, or a big decision that you need to make right now. Basically, since you just get a kill, you need to decide where you're going to push, or if you can push at all. In this case, like, you don't know where a lot of heroes are, so it's hard to decide. But yeah. Okay, so let's watch how this happens.
I live here, I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, no detection. So.
Okay. It's lucky. Okay.
Then I think I get indecisive again here, but I should help my team or go back base or just earn. I think I end up just earning, I don't know.
I'll
Not
take
sure.
that.
Yeah, I think just earning would be the ideal choice. You have Quas regen as well, so you run up here, you kill Jug. This is all fine. So right here, you need to make a decision like where the best place to go is. You just saw Venge run towards you here, so like you can kind of sort of guess that they're going to go for an aggressive play on you. Like, she wouldn't be doing this if she was solo, like, or if she had some kind of plan, or maybe she would, but she'd be really dumb to do that. So when you see her run towards you like this, you kind of have to, you know, back off at this point, maybe go top. It's a tough decision, but I think you need to make it like relatively quickly if you want to do anything.
Okay.
Generally, whenever you get a pick off like that, you want to try to, you know, press your advantage.
Yeah.
However, you know, the best option is. Here, I think you should have invoked Ice Wall and just put it down at your feet. That would have been quite good. Like, Ghost Walking is definitely a good play, but having them chase you, that would be, you know, quite helpful for you. And you already have Ghost Walk invoked with, you know, off cooldown, so.
I guess if they have detection, they kill me without Ice Wall, and maybe with Ice Wall, I live regardless. I'm not sure.
It'd be pretty close, but you definitely die no matter what if they have detection, I think. But the Ice Wall is like a, you know, an extra buffer, I guess. So even if they do kill you, they take some damage at least, which, like, it sounds silly, but I mean it's true.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you definitely should be earning here. Okay. So I do like that you moved your camera to see what's going on here. That's good. You should have been earning up, you know, during this whole time though, because you know stuff is going on. But yeah, it's okay. But when you move your camera like this is good. You want to like keep looking for information like this. But yeah, if you were earning up before this, you would have gotten another one off now, and you would be able to like help during this, I think. It's tough to say though, because it's a bad fight at that point. But yeah, either way, I think that's something you should do. Also, instead of going, this is a big mistake here. So rather than going back to defend here, you should go top and push. And that's like, in a way, it's like defending. It's attacking the area where the enemy team can't be. If they end up being here, like, they have to TP no matter what. They can't just like, you know, go from here to here very quickly without TPing. So in this case, the best thing you can do for your mid tower and your team is to push this and pressure them. And that way, if they send anybody here, you can either kill them or just TP out, and then they're down one person. And they're not sieging as hard. So this is a really big mistake. Your hero's really good at defending towers, but I think this is so big. So ideally, the best thing you can do in this case is be a god and recognize that this fight is over, like while you're still up here and you're very low HP. Then you just start immediately pushing top. Because that way, like, instead of going mid, you know, just very easily, they have to make a decision. Like, do we deal with the Invoker and lose our T2, or do we go for their T3? Something like that. And like pubs are generally not like the best places for high-level decision making like that, to put it lightly. So they're probably going to mess up in some way if you go for that. So that was big, and that's hard to do. Like, I wish that were easier in Dota. Well, actually I don't, because then Dota would suck. But yeah, I guess I wish. What I'm saying is I wish I was better at that. But that was the play in this case, in my opinion.
So just comes down to pushing whenever possible, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Simplified, but I guess that's a major issue in this game. Or
yeah, I would say so. I would say that would be pretty impactful. Also, like, I think you don't go for kills enough at the same time. Like, you spend a lot of time like farming neutrals in your side of the jungle, whereas like you're a pretty safe hero. Like, you have multiple ways to disengage. You do quite a lot of damage, so if somebody goes on you, you can probably kill them. You know, with the exception of a few heroes like, you know, Jug or BKBTA. But yeah, definitely as Invoker, if you're going to be farming, you generally want to either be pushing waves or farming the enemy jungle. There are very few cases where you're going to be like actively farming your neutral creeps. At least, you know, after you get Orchid. That's like when you're safest and you're also strongest. So I think that's the general answer to that question.
Okay.
Okay, so you decide to push mid. TA and Phoenix are dead, so this is perfect.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Okay, that's good. Oh, okay.
I don't know, for some reason I thought I got the Orchid off before the... Maybe the animation.
Right.
I don't know what happened there. I just thought I got it off before he started strength morphing. So I thought we could kill him, but I didn't, apparently.
Yeah.
It was the purple thing around him that confused me there.
Yeah, it might have distracted you for sure. So yeah, so the correct play here is to Orchid Morphling if you can get it off beforehand, but you don't really have the distance to. If you had saved it, you could Orchid Jug right here, like as he comes out of Omni, and that would be sick. Like you could actually do something really insane, which is save Cold Snap obviously too, because like he's in Chrono, you don't need it. But you could Ghost Walk to interrupt the Omni, and then immediately Orchid and Cold Snap, and then he just dies. Like he has no counterplay. That would be pretty cool actually. I think it's also pretty doable too. Like just in general against Jug, that's not something I've seen somebody intentionally do, but it seems very mechanically simple. I think. Yeah. Okay. So I think that would be the play in this case.
Okay.
It's a bit different if he has Manta, but yeah. Okay. He also disengaged a little bit too hard here. Basically, like once Jug Omnis you like this, he has nothing else to do. He could spin on you, that's true. But, I mean, you run very quickly. He can't just kill you with that. Yeah, so I think you disengage a little bit hard here. Or a little bit too hard, rather.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so team ends up chasing a little bit. I'm not sure if you were able to be here in time. If you had stayed like around this point, you guys might have been able to win this fight actually. Like Phoenix still has egg, so no, that's tough. I think this is just like a bad strategical play on your team's part. So okay. So here's the thing. Okay, so rather than disengaging here completely, you can disengage and just get away from Jug, and then run back. And then if you recognize that this is a bad team fight, you can just go mid and push this really quick. Then that way these guys have no plan, or they have no nothing to do after winning this fight. They can go Roche and that's it. But doing Roche against Invoker is like suicide pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So seems to be that. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to try to get rid of this reaction that you have, or this knee-jerk reaction, is to go farm neutrals after a fight or whatever, or just like when you don't know what to do. Like try to, if you can, transition that into like pushing out lanes. And that's not something you're going to be able to fix overnight. I think within like a week or two of actively doing this in your games, you could probably see results. It's definitely something that takes a while to learn though, because you basically have to unlearn these habits, right? Like it's not simple. But I think that would be very helpful for you specifically. Yeah. Okay.
Different question.
Of course.
I also play support a lot recently, and if I play support, then the issue of not knowing what to do is even more present because I can't farm if my teammates are farming lanes or neutrals. Yeah.
Okay. So that is a tough question for sure. Usually there is like some part of the map that you can farm, and it's less true at lower MMRs because like your cores are not going to farm as ambitiously or as intelligently. So like for example, instead of you being here, you would be pushing out this lane, and your support could get this camp or something like that. That would be where they find farm. But in low MMR, I think like. With the exception of team games, I think most of your farm is actually going to come from the pull camp.
Has fallen
I think this is not abused enough in most cases. Just getting farm here and like pulling through and stuff. It's tough to say. I'm not someone who's played a lot of support at low MMR. Like I played core, but that's about it.
Do you play support in your games a lot, or?
Yeah, I do, but it is completely different though. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, like my cores are still stupid by like 6K standards or whatever, but they're stupid in a sense that like they understand some stuff and they can like push and do things on their own, whereas like it's kind of like random at this MMR. Like I definitely get that. Yeah, no, I do like playing support, but yeah, so it is a little bit different. But I'd say like try to farm as much as you can early on, if you're not able to get kills or whatever, and that eventually will like it will allow you to farm more later on because you'll be slightly stronger than you would be if you didn't farm that much early. I think that's the best answer I can give. Other than that, there are usually places that you can farm as support. It's just like harder to find. That's not a very good answer, but
yeah, I guess in lower MMR games, if my cores don't farm lanes as efficiently, I could do it instead on the support.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely can.
Okay.
No, it's definitely true. A lot of people are afraid to do that, but it really doesn't matter what your hero is. As long as you can right-click things, then you're able to push slightly. So, most heroes have that covered. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's about time we wrap things up here. So long story short,
Sorry.
I think like it really is just the lane pushing thing. Like your laning seemed okay. You were a little bit passive, so I think being a little bit more aggressive in most cases would be better. Just be mindful of like hero positioning on the map and stuff, and who can roam on you. But I don't think that's as big an issue as your reaction to like
Go back
or your default strategy. Yeah. You definitely want to try to apply this to pretty much every hero. It's just like if you can push out a creep wave instead of going to neutrals, and that would be quite impactful, I think.
All right.
Yeah. Do you have any like final questions or anything you want to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we could set up a different session for support play, because I've been doing that a lot. I actually rarely play mid these days. Maybe not rarely, but less often than I used to.
Okay. Yeah, no, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I'll just use your website again then, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, if that's it. Hope this was helpful.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. I'll take care, man.
All right. See ya.
Peace.